Assalamu alaikum. Good morning in the West, and assalamu alaikum, Nazreen and subscribers. Today, we will discuss a few items, especially as it relates to the Middle East, especially Afghanistan. Then we'll discuss Iran, and we'll discuss Ukraine. They're all tied, these things. But a couple of things which we really need to answer in this podcast, and we will. What to do with these Afghanis? I mean, there's a guy, he got asylum in America in 2021. Today he goes in front of the White House, shoots two US Army people. Donald Trump has suspended all processing of visas for those guys, Afghans. And now they were suspended the visas also. Okay. Well, is that all? No. Today from Afghanistan, Afghani militants launch attack across the Tajik border and kill 3 Chinese workers. I mean, I don't know where this is going with these guys, but I have some answers, and I will share with you towards the later part of the podcast. But first, let me bring you some news, which is very important. As you know, we live in this khita, what is called Afghanistan is here, Tajikistan is here, India is here, Turkmenistan, and Iran. Now, the first thing I'll discuss with you is what's happening in the Middle East. Middle East, in short, MBS took a trip to the White House, and he got a lot of huggies, a lot of smiles. He did a $1 trillion investment in America, which was great for Trump. But as soon as the doors closed, Trump said, he demanded, MBS, normalize relations with Israel, with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, and join the Abraham Accords, which incidentally was negotiated by Trump's son-in-law and political confidant, Jared Kushner. But MBS stood his ground and said he can't approve relations with Israel because in his kingdom, people are against Israel because of the Gaza war. And then he told Trump that to secure peace with his country, Israel would need an irreversible, credible, long time bound pacification of Palestine. Now, okay, this is something which Saudis and Americans had. What does it do with us? A lot. We have signed a defense pact with Saudi Arabia. And one of the ways with this little breakup, Israel knows that Americans won't be standing behind Saudi Arabia. And how does Israelis normally convince people to sign Abraham Accords? Well, there's only Pakistan standing in between. And we'll discuss where Pakistan is committed also. Now, why is Ukraine so important? Because this minute Ukraine signs on the deal and Russians also sign on the deal, US will then pump all the manufacturing capacity, shifts gears, and supports Israel. And that means they're going to go for Iran. No more enrichment and the rest. Now, we'll also discuss what Iran wants from Pakistan and where we're going with that. Now, just to bring you on to speed how urgently this is being done by the Americans. Mr. Witkoff, he's a close confidant of Trump, told over the phone with his Ushakov from Russia that Trump has given him a lot of discretion on do a peace deal. And he said, okay, If Ukraine hands over 72% of the Donetsk, the remaining 30% or so, and Russia gives some minor issues in return, that would start something. And of course, it meant when this was shared with them, with the Secretary of Army, with the Ukrainians, fundamentally the Ukrainians understood that they have to agree to this peace plan. Because Trump had said, if you don't, fine, you're on your own, and you can fight the heart out. But without US intelligence and arms and guns, they're not going anywhere. I think USA wanted to fight the Ukraine war to the last Ukrainian, and I think we're at the end of that line with the last Ukrainian, because the last conscripts were over 60 years old, and women. Zelensky's aide who's spearheading all this is Andrei Yermak. Yeah, Andrei Yermak was sitting on TV and said, oh, no. Trump has agreed to what we are doing. And right in front of his face, the news channel showed what Trump had said. And Trump not only said he's not with them, he said he's not going to meet Zelensky at all, which he was saying he would. And Trump said further, until he accepts the peace plan, only minor tweaks would be allowed. He is not going to meet with Zelensky. So it looks like all of Europe and Ukraine are on ice geopolitically. So now we expect in the next few days, Zelensky will fold Ukraine, and it's our projection that there will be a peace deal which the Russians and Americans and Ukrainians will sign, and with a lot of hoopla in the background by the Europeans, which interestingly Russians call loudspeaker with diplomacy. Nobody's hearing them, but they're not talking to people through the closed door on loudspeakers. Anyway, now we'll get back to the Afghans. Now, we had a bomb blast here. People got killed. In Banu, they're running amok. Now, what does it mean? What Afghanis and TDP running amok in Banu? Let me share that with you. Now, you won't find this many times, but this is normal media. I'm getting it for you. For 5 months, KPK police Southern Banu district have battled not just militants on the ground, but have to fend off enemy attacks from the sky. One eye on the barrel of the gun for a cop in KPK, and the other on the sky. For months, militants from adjoining tribal launched multiple quadcopter attacks on police posts and police stations. So now you're looking at these people coming across the border with these quadcopters and attacking them. Last week, 50 attempts in 1 week. Guys, today's Banu. Tomorrow when they start doing it in Lahore, what are you going to say? Well, I'm going to go back to my drawing room, and I'm sorry, I don't have time. But I think it's coming our way, and we better gear up. Okay. Since last September, 200 such attacks have taken place. Now, what is this attack? I mean, it's coming over there and he's scaring people. Well, let me define to you exactly. Russians have made what is called under barrel grenade launching. This is called GP-25. And it also can fire small caliber mortar rounds. They've put this damn thing underneath these quadcopters, and they're lobbing grenades and mortar shells at our people. It's like being bombed from the sky. Very cheap way of making it. And guess who makes the drones in this region? I don't want to go there because people will get offended that I'm pointing a finger at Iran. So I'll keep my mouth shut on that issue. Now, what our guys are doing, they're putting a net over it and canopy over the stuff so that they don't get a direct impact. But this is very deadly attacks. And now they're learning how to deal with it. Now, one other thing which is interesting, how do these junglis do all that? But, okay. Yeah, just 1 second, yeah. Okay. In one case, this copter was pursuing 11 police walas while they were evacuating their wounded, and that video, they taped it and it went viral. I mean, this nonsense is going on. Now, these guys are getting very also sophisticated. New phase, what they're also doing is when they bring in these guys at certain frequencies, we jam them. Ha ha, we got you. These guys just switch and go on to the next one. The tactics they're using is like very well trained guys in all this. And they are getting better and better. Now we have to position ourselves in a fashion that we don't get caught in all this. Anyway. Now, one of the things which is also happening is both Tajikistan and America are experiencing attacks by Afghanistan. And that is pretty bad. US immigration and other service have turned down all Afghanis and they suspended any visa processing. On top of that, they have suspended all Afghan visas. You know, it brings me something which I experienced some time ago when I went to the Turkish embassy with my wife and child to apply for a visa. It's in Saudi Park Towers, and I went up there. The first thing I noticed was a very strong body odor. And when I entered this place which handles visas for Turkey, it was filled with people from Afghanistan. I mean, I called it the Hawaii Chapel Brigade. I mean, I almost turned around and left that I don't want to be going to a country with so much stuff. But anyway, I asked, is there a way to circumvent that? And the lady was nice. She showed me to a room. And I'm very grateful to Turkey for that. And we finally went to Turkey. What I found there was all these guys are coming in. Some of them are Afghani passport, some of them are Pakistani passport. They're going all the way close to Istanbul, going on the other side, sneaking across to the Greek side, and all that bad name is coming to Pakistan. Now I'm glad the guy who shot over there, they identified him very quickly as an Afghan. Today, 3 Chinese workers have been killed by cross-border attack by these Afghan militants from Afghanistan soil. So this is getting quite a bit of out of place. Now, Khawaja Asif, he's a guy who says, why are we, people are asking, why are we doing this? Why are we with the negotiating with these guys? The reason is Qatar, our friend, Oma friend, Turkey, our close brother friend, Iran, as well as China, they want stability here. Okay. Now, what Iranians have been able to do when they find an Afghan standing out of line, they shoot him. Qatar people are not having a boundary next to Afghans either. And secondly, they don't give them visas. So they don't have an Afghan problem. Turkey has an Afghan problem, but they're handling it a little differently. America, they're most likely going to kick them all out. Now, China also may be losing its patience with the Afghans. Now, let me give you something. Tajikistan, right next, 20% of the population of Afghanistan is Tajik. only 16% is Afghan Pashtuns. So there's always a case to be made that it needs to be representative government. How we achieve it, a whole lot of different ways. One way is brute force, other way is insurrection, third way is fifth generation warfare, sixth generation is that these guys do it willingly, which they're not going to do. Okay. So let's examine. These guys, recently Muttaqi Mir, there was reports that Pakistan bombed one of their places in Kunar. Now, what is Kunar? I'll share it with you. I think I shared it the last time, and I'll share it with you where Kunar is. Now, we bombed Kunar, Khost, and Patika. Now, we also, then our ISPR said we didn't do this. But then the Afghanis said, where else can these Afghans come from if they're coming from the West? Now, one question is, they don't have radar. How do they know they're coming in from their west, from the east? But now let's go to the next step. Then they say that we are going to retaliate in an appropriate manner according to Sharia. Khawaja Asif asked the question, which Sharia are they talking about? You live in somebody's house for 40 years, you grow up there, and then you turn around and shed their blood? He says, we don't know of any such Sharia. So he has said that they really can't trust these guys anymore. They can't count on them anymore. And that's what's getting to be the really key issue nowadays. All these countries in green with CENTCOM came together, and they have a kind of a loose alliance against terrorism. And from their viewpoint, there are two countries doing this, Iran and Afghanistan. All right. Now, in all this mix, we've got monkeys from India jumping into. What is that? Rajnath Singh goes, well, we have old civilization links with the Hindus of Sindh, and this border can be changed. Well, I think he got a reply pretty good from the Sikh leaders. Sikh leaders have expressed full support for Pakistan after India's defense minister threatened Sindh. They called for volunteers to join Pakistan Armed Forces, the Sikh Justice Movement, and urged special recruitment for the Sindh defense. Wow, whole corps of 6 soldiers marching along the Sindh border. According to Pakistan television, 6 activists have refused to support India. Rallying behind Pakistan, Sikh leaders instructed followers to enlist in the Pakistan army to defend Sindh. Sindh for Justice movement formally requested Field Marshal Munir to open recruitment for Sikh volunteers. Well, that's where things are going. However, one good news in this one, and some of my guys may not think so, but we finally today, our Field Marshal, Asim Munir, is per notification the Chief of Defense Forces of Pakistan. So there's one gentleman now in charge of all our defense, Air Force, Navy, and Army. So I think we're well positioned for this. Our scenario is evolving. As soon as the Ukraine war ends, my friends, Israel, America, and the West is coming for Iran. Indian armaments worth over 50 billion from Europe, Russia, and Israel. Israel alone is about 20. They're all coming to India between the months of March through April. Now, it doesn't take a lot of rocket science to project they're not getting all that stuff just so that they can play Diwali next time. I think they're coming for Pakistan. And in the meantime, we've got these Afghan guys. We get nervous opening two fronts, and now you've got these Afghans who open, God knows how many fronts. And President Trump has already said bad things are going to happen to you. So where do we have a window in which to handle the Afghan issue? I think between now and March, and we better get going. And I have a couple of suggestions, as I said, how to handle this Afghan issue. Normally, whether Afghan is Tajik or otherwise, for example, Karzai, Abdullah, when Americans were bombing the same guys, they were cheering the Americans. Now, apparently, Pakistan bombed the same very guys, and they are completely, aggression against Afghanistan. Now, one thing is for sure, there's a general, Karzai also Pashtun, so I understand his backstabbing nature. Abdullah probably is too, but anyway, Turkey has a lot of influence with the Tajik, Uzbek in that crowd. So somewhere along the line, we'll have to come to some kind of a final effective way, and our Field Marshal already said that. We will respond beyond their expectations. And we should. These guys think they're beyond reproach, but they're not. Now, they say they don't recognize the Durand line. Okay. What if Pakistan doesn't recognize the Durand line? Then what happens? We say it's no more than a province of it's no more than a district of KPK. Then what are they going to say? So, I mean, this game should end completely. And I think we need to bring some sanity here. These guys cannot be allowed to go on. And I think the world's tolerance is coming to an end. I think Chinese patience is very worn out, I think. And at the same time, American patience is worn out. They're gone. They're done with these guys. I think they're probably going to put them in packages and airdrop them. I mean, en masse, a whole bucket full of these guys in there and then airdrop them in Afghanistan. So they're not going to talk too much. And if Pakistan goes after these guys militarily, there's not going to be any hue and cry, but a lot of cheering. But I think our Muslim brothers are eating up our good time between now and January. They're going to keep us busy. And I hope we move in time and settle this issue before March or April, when the Indians have that opportunity to come after us. With that, my viewers, till next time, 2 days from now, see you then and enjoy it and give me all your comments. And for those who have not subscribed, please subscribe. And for those still watching, please share it. Thank you.